But I will expound on it a little bit by saying the thing about rain is that, and the court being wet, is that it kind of equals the playing field for everybody, meaning it affects everybody the same way. It's going to force everybody to slow down. When the court is wet, thus the ball is going to be wet, the backboard, the rim, everything is going to be wet, which is going to mean you're going to have less control over the basketball than you normally would. So players compensate for that by slowing down their play. And another thing they do to gain more control over a wet basketball, and what you should do, is to decrease the amount of velocity you're putting on the basketball. The way you do that is you decrease velocity by decreasing distance. So especially if we're talking about shooting, like the further away from the rim you are, the more velocity you have to put into your shot. The more velocity you have to put into a wet ball, the less control you're going to have. So therefore, you should decrease the distance by shooting closer to the basket. The same thing with passing. Longer passes take more velocity. The more velocity you have with a wet basketball, the less control you have. So the rain creates a great opportunity for you to work on your close to the rim game, whether it be driving to the basket and finishing or working in the post. Even if that's not your game, don't be discouraged by the fact that now you're being forced to do that. Look at it as an opportunity to grow and to practice. It's going to make you a more well-rounded player, and the more used to playing in wet conditions you are, that's something else that you have in your bag, a skill and ability that other players probably don't have. The more you polish that skill, the more well-rounded your game's going to be, the better and more separation you're going to create between yourself and your opponents. So don't be afraid of wet, rainy courts. Get out here, practice, get a feel for how to play and control the ball when the court is wet. That is going to separate you, elevate you, make you a better player than most of the other players out here at the court.